17-year-old Austin Metcalf was stabbed by 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony at a track meet in Frisco. He died in his twin brother's arms. This was the tweet here that I first saw about this. Carmelo Anthony, 17, has been charged with murder in the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf. The attack happened at a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas. No one will riot. No Netflix series will be made and shoved down our throats. Yeah, and speaking of Netflix, if only this guy had watched Adolescence, then he would have known not to stab other people. We need to get Adolescence out there in the eyes of our teens so quickly. I shouldn't joke because it's really fucked up. When I first saw this and it said he's been charged with murder, I actually thought, oh, is that the guy who killed that one kid outside of the LeBron James thing? What was his name? Ethan Liming? I was like, oh, did they decide to go back? Because it kind of looks similar. No, it's just a different story where a black guy kills a promising young. This is Ethan Liming. This is the one I was like, is that the same guy? And it's like, no, just another guy with a good jawline, kind of frizzier hair. And then I looked up an update on the Ethan Liming thing, and guess what? One of the guys was rearrested just a few days ago. This was published March 31st, 2025, and the father says he wasn't surprised.
New developments on a story that we broke Friday night. The man who crashed into a Cleveland home when running from the cops has made headlines before. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeff Sloss, and Chris Fry has the week off. The suspect was sentenced in a death of a teenager outside of the I Promise school just a few years ago. In a story you'll see on Just One Station, Kelly Kennedy sat down with Ethan Liming's father about these new developments.
This is where that police chase ended after the suspects crashed into this home behind me on East 66th and Chester. I've learned CMHA police were after Tyler Stafford. I discovered he's the same man who was convicted of assault in the death of Ethan Liming outside of the I Promise school nearly 3 years ago.
When you lose a child
Shocker.
in such a violent way, it's just absolutely devastating. It changes everything in your life, and it's something you have to carry every single day of your life. And when justice is not served, it compounds all of the pain.
Bill Liming says right now his son should be wrapping up his sophomore year at Ohio State, pursuing his dreams of becoming a lawyer. But all those dreams went out the window on June 2nd, 2022. He was found dead in the parking lot of the I Promise school in Akron.
It's destroyed our family.
Police said the suspects were on the basketball court when Liming and his friend shot at them with a water pellet gun. That's when the deadly fight broke out. Authorities said Liming died from blunt force trauma to the head and that he had been beaten and stomped.
They originally
Normal reaction to a water gun prank, by the way. Killing someone.
charged him with felonious assault and murder, and then they dropped him to nothing charges. If they had, the Sonoma County prosecutors had not done that, if they would have used the evidence, if they would have been competent, things would have been different.
In 2023, Tyler Stafford and his brother were found guilty of assault. Stafford was sentenced to 6 months behind bars. On Friday, I discovered Stafford was the reason for this crime scene in Cleveland's Huff neighborhood.
We think our suspect's going to be getting into that brown vehicle. He's a suspect for felonious assault, pistol whipping.
CMH
Felonious assault, pistol whipping. Man, I wonder what happened this time. Maybe somebody went behind him in a picture and went like this while the picture was getting taken behind his head. Maybe he was at a circus and a clown asked him to smell a flower, then water sprayed out. And so he pistol whipped the clown. Understandable, normal reaction.
police say Stafford was wanted for felonious assault. Court records show a warrant was issued on March 20th. Stafford was arrested after crashing into this home. Officers also found a gun. How did you feel when you heard that Tyler Stafford was wanted for felonious assault and then led police on a chase, eventually crashing into someone's house on Friday?
I wasn't surprised. Tyler had been arrested just weeks before the trial for my son for 4 felony counts. I just figured he would continue.
4 felony accounts before the murder or before the trial for the murder. It's insane. It's fucking insane that like libs complain about how there's too many people in prison in America and we throw all like there should be way more fucking black people in jail right now than there is. Obviously.
To do violent crimes.
According to Cuyahoga County court records, less than 3 months after Liming's death, Stafford was charged with having a stolen gun, obstructing official business, and having weapons under disability.
I truly believe that if the justice system doesn't get a spine, then people like Tyler will continue to hurt and destroy other families.
Cleveland police are investigating this crash, but CMHA police are investigating the felonious assault. I'm told right now Stafford is still in the hospital. We'll keep you updated as this case progresses. For now, reporting in Cleveland, I'm Kelly Kennedy.
All right, so anyways, that's an update on the Ethan Liming saga, not to be confused with Austin Metcalf, who was just stabbed to death yesterday by Carmelo Anthony. This was a statement put out by the father of Austin Metcalf. He says, "We have got to be kind to each other. You need to show compassion, show empathy, not anger, not rage. Teach your kids right from wrong and pray to God this doesn't happen to yours. I feel for the suspect's family because now their son will end up in prison." Well, don't get too ahead of yourself. We got to get all the details. Did Austin play some kind of prank? Did he have a water pistol? Better fucking hope not. Their son will end up in prison and learn that he killed someone, and he devastated and killed my son, who I can never get back. It's unfortunate for everyone involved. Yeah, well, it's mostly unfortunate for your kid, in case you didn't notice, the dead one. Dude, these fucking parents. And I mean, we know for a fact that as soon as these things happen, they send like envoys, fucking like government PR envoys to you to get these statements made. Your kid just died. It doesn't make sense that you're putting out a statement within like 12 hours of your kid being murdered. But they come when you're reeling, and they tell you like, "Hey man, you wouldn't want things to get worse, right? We need to dissolve tensions in the community. And as a man in this situation, you should tell that person." I can't remember if this was confirmed or not, so take it with a grain of salt. But I think they offer to help with like funeral costs and shit like that. Like they basically bribe you into, let's call for peace and empathy. Fucking crazy, man. The level of propaganda and bullshit we have to deal with. The father said his son was killed. I'm not trying to judge, but what kind of parents did this child have? What was he taught? He brought a knife to a track meet and murdered my son by stabbing him in the heart. Austin's twin brother witnessed the stabbing and tried to stop the bleeding.
He died in his brother's arms. They were twins, identical twins. And his brother was holding on to him, trying to make it stop bleeding. And he died in his brother's arms. And I rushed up there and I saw him on the gurney. And I could tell. They said he wasn't breathing. I could see all the blood. I saw where the wound was.
Austin, his father shares, was born 2 minutes before his twin brother Hunter, the two inseparable. As you can imagine, Austin is being remembered as an outstanding student at Memorial High, his football team's MVP, and a young man of faith. His father grappling with loss and forgiveness.
I'm not trying to judge, but what kind of parents did this child have? What was he taught? He brought a knife.
Yeah, remember when some white kid shot up a school and then they charged the parents? Remember that? What happened to that? What happened to if your kid kills other kids, you're going to jail? Oh, sorry, I forgot. That's only when the killer is white.
To a track meet, and he murdered my son by stabbing him in the heart. The guy was in the wrong place. They asked him to move, and he bowed up. This is murder.
He was in the wrong, so he was in the way or like somewhere where he wasn't supposed to be, and they said, "Hey man, you need to get out of here. You can't be there." And he pulled out a knife and stabbed the guy to death. Normal, again. If anything, being asked to move is almost worse than getting shot with a water pistol.
I don't know. I know they have someone in custody.
Yeah, we do.
And you know what? I already forgive this person. Already. God takes care of things. God's going to take care of me. God's going to take care of my family.
Austin Metcalf's identical twin brother speaks out after witnessing his brother get stabbed in the chest. All because Hunter told a thug he was in the wrong spot.
There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." He's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I look at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. So yeah. Just that's just what I saw. And I tried to help him, but
it was just something.
I mean, look, man, if he's like if he said, "I forgive him," but that needs to fry in the chair for what he did.
Gab Rupiat sent
I could be like,
there
okay.
was a jig I had class within 11th grade that shot a white kid from our grade in the head over an ounce of weed.
Dude, that could have been you. You see, this is the thing, man. This is the problem. These guys did everything white as far as everything right, as far as I can tell. Kid was like a star athlete, good GPA, good student. I think they lived in a nice neighborhood. And then just one wrong encounter with a bleep, and it all goes away. Hey, what up, family? I'm a ding dong. It is I, your boy LP, and the clip you just watched is from my live stream show, The Daily Cope, which I do 4 to 5 times a week on Rumble, Odyssey, and my other YouTube channel. I will link all of them below if you want to check it out. And thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace out.